Hello, hello. Oh, I forgot my hoodie. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. There's the Charles Barton, the Achroma community coordinator, otherwise known as Viridian in the Discord that we all know. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't wearing the hoodie or the shirt. Literally had it right next to me, but it's a hot sunny day, so you guys can appreciate why I wasn't wearing it too early. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Let's see who fired. £1,000 fine right now. Yeah, sure. Yep, absolutely. I can't even deny it either. Welcome everybody. Let's have a little look at who's in the stream so far. So we always pose a question to you guys at the start of the stream, and in today's stream we asked you, which faction have you been enjoying playing the most recently? So let's see what everybody has said. So welcome in Lord Maiden, welcome in Fairy Bread. Fairy Bread was the first to come in today with Drakes and Occultists. Apparently they've been quite fun, and Occultists, I find it fun to steal people's cards. Yeah, claim is always good. Oh, you've got a good deck, have you? Well, now it's our deck. Lord said, Norso Traders, it's a thrill of the trade. And I asked you, what happens if someone gives you a bad trade deal, tries something to cut you, and you said, I make all my trades under favorable conditions without caring for what my parents do. That almost sounds like a Brascavi Raiders way of thinking. Welcome in, Lewis. Salem is really fun with Hex Clunker at the moment. Yeah, it genuinely is amazing. Like, well, it's incredible how Hex Clunker was just really underpowered before the expansion cards, and now suddenly he is arguably one of the best legendaries out there, but which is great to see. We all like Hexlinker. Welcome in, Heron, probably Curdle Hill, seeing that it was the first set I got, and just in time, finish the pots. Welcome in, Heron. Yeah, I always have a bit of a I always have a bit of sentiment to my first realm as well. Taurus, welcome in, playing Trader's Lifeline with Trader's Pass and Knut, the art of the deal. Yeah, that's always an insane combo. Welcome in Hazmat. Salem Clunker is the most insane deck at the moment. Super combo-y. Yeah, it's not only just really powerful, but it's just so well synergized that yeah, you just can't not love it. Welcome in Rhea. Occultist will always be my favorite. Hazmat says Sacrifice Drakes are pretty fun too. Yeah, I've been really enjoying the Sacrifice Drakes. Next on your list to try from Taurus. Oh, I said okay. Well, I was waiting to welcome you. In voice, Lewis. My apologies. Welcome in, Orteg. Good to see you. Hey, it's me. Sorry, hi. All for me, it's been Chroma Squadron. I just love the combos. Yeah, Chroma Squadron has always been really, really fun to play because they just synergize so well. Yeah, I have to wear the Fungi hoodie. Hearing your voice a few seconds ahead of seeing your mouth moves with. Yep, Taurus is behind the scenes today. Welcome in, Sarah. Flutterby, of course. Yeah. He's gotten really good at throwing his voice lately. Insert Bugs Bunny, our deck meme here. I'll post my deck list tomorrow. Very good. Welcome in, Hen. Been running that troll deck, but I have Yana as a legendary now. Oh, so yeah, you've been that deck we showed last week, the one that's lots of cyan, and you have Yana. Interesting. Yeah, Yana's really, really cool. I'm surprised she hasn't been used more so far. But yeah, so welcome everybody. And as for me, the decks that I've been really enjoying recently, one that I keep going back to is I have a really for me personally, I've been really enjoying factions that have been more synergized since the Realmless cards. So I really like playing the Denizens of Arcosphere, because I play them with some more of the research heavy cards and the Realm Rift for blue. That is really well synergized. So I've been really enjoying that. And I've also been really enjoying playing Yana in a very much a faculty build. Faculty faction for the Fall of Flutterby, where I make all the colors yellow and then play Yana. That's been really fun too. So yeah, I've essentially been enjoying the factions that have been synergized more since the expansion cards, and I can't deny that Sacrifice Drakes have been amazing as well. Lurking at the moment since the playing game, no worries, Rhea. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining today, folks. So as stated, as normal, the stream schedule is we're going to go through the Achroma news, events, and previews, where I discuss all of the news I have for you this week for Achroma. We talk about some of the events coming up soon, and I have got some previews for you today, aka sneak peeks. We then move into the section called the Realm Table, where we will be having a discussion with a couple of guests. I will introduce those a bit later, where we're going to have a community discussion around some hot topics of the week, and we will end the stream as always by shining the light on you guys in the community as everything you guys have been creating about Achroma. So I'm Charles Barton, otherwise known as Viridian in the Discord. This is the Achroma weekly stream. Welcome in, one and all. Let's get started with the Achroma news. Now, if you've been in any of our live streams or if you've listened to the Achroma cast before, then you know exactly where I'm going to be starting this week, and it is always with the Kickstarter updates. I will pretty much start every live stream and Achroma cast with Kickstarter updates until such time that all of the Kickstarter products have been delivered. So just a short update this week. We mentioned last week how all of the cards have now been sent out, and that is true. So all of the other products are moving along nicely, I am told. I haven't got any exact ETAs that I can give you, but a couple of things to mention. The thing that's most likely going to be coming out soon is we've got the TTRPG alpha document. It's taking a little bit longer than expected to format. I appreciate that there has been a bit of a delay for it, but it's being actively worked on, and I'm told we should know more very, very soon. Two varies. I don't have any further dates for that, but I'm told very, very soon we should have more for that one. And then the ETA of all of the merchandise that you guys have ordered, as well as the playmats and the Vault X boxes, is looking to be around June, July. Hopefully June. I think we'd all appreciate that, but June, July, but ASAP. As soon as I get any more details on those, you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be mentioning them on the Sunday stream. Ferrybread in the chat says, what we've learned about Achroma being bad, Charlie, you shouldn't be playing those decks. Hey, I like Achroma, I like Chroma, I like a bit of a mixture. And Taurus in the chat says, there's no more than Chroma or Achroma, only gimmick decks. You know what, I agree, there's nothing more fun than building a palette in Achroma that is just purely for fun, things that synergize well. So that is the Achroma news for the Kickstarter. My next bit of news is around our YouTube channel. So if you are listening on the Achroma cast, then make sure to check out our Achroma YouTube channel. If you're here on the live stream, then obviously you know where we are. But the reason is we have released a new video this week. It is a first. We have done a Achroma community games video. So we are aiming to bring one of these out every single month. It will always be a Friday at 6 p.m. But yeah, we'll release them monthly. And what this is about is every Wednesday from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time in the community Discord, which is linked down below in the stream and the Achroma cast. We play community games of Achroma using our webcams and microphones in the Discord community. And once per month, we record those games and we take snippets from the best games, or sorry, I should say, we take the best games and snippet them into a video. And the first one went live this week. It's a really interesting video to watch. It is a 4-player game, including myself and 3 other community members. Really interesting game. Not a very long one. I think it was only about 20 minutes long, but genuinely, you don't, it has lots of really good synergies. It keeps going back and forth who it looks like it's going to win. But then the person who did win, no spoilers, those are in the live stream with me. The person that did win, we're pretty certain broke an Achroma record for the most amount of cards played in a turn by doing so. So yeah, definitely worth a watch. It's linked down below. Definitely give it a watch. And keep your eyes on the YouTube channel. So subscribe if you haven't already, because there is going to be many more of those coming out throughout the months. So that is the Achroma YouTube news. Welcome in Idol to the stream. We're here for the chaos. Tora says, this game popped off, not gonna lie. And Ferrybread says, how would I play online with all my claim cards? So how we do it when we play online is if you claim a card, the person whose card you're claiming, they turn it upside down, and what you do on your end is you just take any random Achroma card and place it upside down as almost like a proxy. It's not the most ideal way to play. Obviously, Achroma is designed to play in person, but we have found ways to do claim, restrain, and things like that over webcams, and it tends to work fine. And actually, I'm pretty certain there was many claim and restrain cards in that game, so if you have a watch of that game, Fairy, you'll see exactly how we do it. But it'll be a pleasure to get you in the games and play. So the next bit of news is around the Salem Spring offer. I appreciate that I sound like a broken record because I've mentioned this on every live stream for the last few. However, I want to remind you guys because it is a limited time event. So until the end of the Achroma Spring season, which will be June 30th, every time you spend £20 or more in our official store down in Poole or our online store linked down below, you will receive a Salem Spring promo card, which is limited edition, and it can be used in the Salem realm. So either Curse of Curdle Hill or the upcoming Conjuring of Curdle Cove releases. If you have not yet got your copy, then All you need to do is purchase something £20 or more online or in store, and you'll get your copy. Keep in mind that Curdle Cove is going to be up for pre-order very soon, so if you pre-order that, that will obviously help get you one as well. It is while stocks last. We have 1,200 copies. I believe that we still have plenty for now, but keep in mind that you will only be able to get them during this window by buying a product. So if you haven't already, consider getting one soon. Taurus, going back to the YouTube game, Taurus says, actually, the end of the game is a very good example of how we do it or how we should be doing. Yes, yeah, I completely agree there. Completely agree. So the next bit of news is, it is still related to Achroma to a degree, but it is a little bit of a detour, but I think you guys will agree that it's worth mentioning. So for those who don't know, one of the co-creators of Achroma is the lovely fellow Jack Constantine, and not everybody knows, but he has co-created Realm Run Studios and Achroma, but that's not his only role. He also has a large role in the store Lush. For those that may be outside the UK, I'm not sure. Is Lush worldwide? Maybe it is, but it's a massive company that sells soap, essentially, is the short answer. Now, the reason why we're talking this today in the Achroma Weekly and the Achroma Cast is, Jack does a lot of work for Achroma, obviously, but he has got an award, and I want to mention it because it kind of does still relate to what he does here with Achroma as well. So, firstly, let me talk about what Bima is. Now, we're going to talk about this for a moment. So, BIMA stands for British Interactive Media Association. I am told it is a huge voice in the space of digital and tech. And essentially, every year, Bima honors two members of the public who have made a significant contribution. Put my teeth in, Charlie. They honor two people who have made a significant contribution to the digital industry by essentially putting them into the Bima Hall of Fame. There we go. I got my words out. And congratulations to Jack Constantine, who this week got invited up to London, who has been the latest to join the Bima Hall of Fame for his work with his company, Lush. Now, although it was for Lush and not Achroma, the reason why I wanted to mention it on the stream today, not only is it just lovely to shout out Jack for such an amazing achievement, but also, at the end of the day, Jack is the co-creator for Achroma. He is one of the biggest voices that contributes to how this game works. So I think we can all agree that it's a massive congratulations to Jack, because it's just a lovely thing to know that, one of the main voices behind the game that we all love has been accredited for his digital work, and that's also what he's doing for Achroma. So well done, Jack. Congratulations, mate. It's a shining light on Realm Run Studios and Achroma as well, because it shows that he's clearly very good at his job, and it shows because that's what he does for Achroma. So yeah, well done, Jack. Lewis has a very good comment, and I agree. If Jack is in the stream or sees this, Copper Joss Bath Bomb when? I see no reason why Lush and Achroma shouldn't do some form of collaboration at some point. But yes, thank you for all the congratulations in the chat as well to Jack. I'm sure he appreciates it. How many can I buy, says Sarah Jane. Tora says, my face when I Acron bath bomb myself and become corrupted. Brilliant. So the next little bit of news is... Oh, no, sorry, that was the end of the news part. So now let's talk about the upcoming events. So the big event that we want to talk about is obviously the Realm Runner Studios and Achroma Showcase that is happening on Tuesday, the 23rd of May at 7 p.m. British Standard Time. Now, for those that don't know anything about this showcase, we did mention it on last week's stream, so you can always listen to last week's stream or Achroma Cast on Spotify, Amazon Music or Apple Music as well. However, we are going to go through more of the details in today's stream. So we're going to go into a bit of a deeper dive into what exactly is happening in the showcase and specifically when it's happening for you guys. So again, the short answer is, for those who don't know, like I said, it's Tuesday, 23rd of May at 7 p.m. The main showcase is happening in our Achroma store in Poole. So if you can get down to the Achroma store in Poole on that day and time, then please do so. If you want to secure your place, we do ask that you send an email to confirm your ticket. Now, I don't have the email listed to hand, but if you follow the link down below the stream where it says showcase article, there is the invite in there of who you need to email. You can just turn up on the day, to be very clear, but we prefer you email ahead so we know how many numbers we are getting. So the first thing I want to mention in this stream is during the sorry, actually, I should mention beforehand too, for a bit of context. For those that can't make it to the store on the live, on the showcase, we will be live streaming the entire showcase here on the YouTube channel. You can already see on our live Achroma YouTube channel homepage that there is already a thumbnail for it. You can click on that thumbnail and click notify me to be notified when it goes live. But for those that can't make it to the shop, but can be there for the live stream, be aware that we are going to be doing a live Q&A of the creators of Achroma at the end of that live stream. So if you have a question that you would like to ask any of the creators of Achroma, then what you can do is you can pop them into the live stream today. So literally, as we're talking today in the live stream, if you're with me, you can ask a question for the live for the Q&A in the comments now. I will make a note of them after stream, and I will ask them on Tuesday's live stream. Alternatively, you can ask them live on the stream with me on Tuesday, and obviously we will probably cut to the audience for a few questions if you are live in the store with us. You can also DM me or message me on Discord if you think of a question later on this evening or tomorrow that you want me to ask as well. But short answer there is write a question in the chat or DM me if you want to ask a question for the Q&A on Tuesday. Let's talk about the timetable for the day, because we haven't actually we mentioned that it starts at 7 p.m. and in last week's stream we mentioned all the amazing things that are going to be happening during the showcase. But I wanted to give you guys a bit of a run order so that, in case anybody can only make it for a certain time, just so you know exactly when things are happening. Now, I shouldn't have said the word exactly then, because to be very clear, all of the following times are estimated. Just like with any live stream or live event, timings will be a bit skewed based on, sometimes things run over, sometimes things run short, sometimes there are technical errors. But the times I'm going to give you are what we are aiming for. So at roughly 6:45 p.m., we will be opening the doors in the Achroma store in Poole. So if you are joining us there in person, if you can be at the, if you are able to get to the store for 6:45, that is when we'll be opening the doors to give you time to get in, get a drink, get seated before the live stream starts. Heron in the chat says, I can't make it from about, I can make it from about 10:30 when I get in from work. So the live streams will be finished by then, I'm afraid, Heron, but you can obviously re-watch it. So yes, the doors will be open at 6:45 in the evening. The live stream will start at about 10 to 7. And just like our regular weekly streams, there'll be like that waiting screen. And the actual live stream itself, properly will start at 7 p.m, give or take. When it starts, it'll be myself welcoming you guys, so you'll see my lovely face and voice. And I will be introducing the stream and also announcing a competition. I won't give you details of that today, but there is going to be a competition running in stream and in store that day, and there will be some pretty big prizes to be given out. So if you can be there, then fantastic. If you can't be there, then unfortunately, there's not much I can do, I'm afraid, but for those that can be there in stream or in person, there will be a competition running. So we'll then go into, as soon as I finish the introduction, we'll be going into the first keynote panel, which will be a speech by Jack Constantine. I detailed exactly what he's going to be saying last week, but in short, he's going to be summarizing a lot of kind of the direction for Realm Runner Studios and Achroma. The second panel, each panel is going to be roughly 15 minutes, so I don't have exact time frames, but we're roughly 15 minutes per panel. So the second panel is going to be about how to make a cinematic games trailer, and that is going to be from Feral Child. Now, I believe Feral Child isn't going to be actually in the store, but they will be either dialing in or giving us video content. So there'll be a section from Feral Child on how to make a cinematic games trailer. The third panel is going to be I've got a title here of World Building, Character Development, and Fantasy Superverse, and that will be with the Achroma co-creator Rachel Constantine, the Achroma artist Matt Vince, and Ben Sewell. We then have a fourth panel, which will be it's titled The Future of Indie Gaming with Jack Constantine, Chris Hillman, and there will also be a special guest. Even I haven't been told the special guest yet. They're that special, but they are a special guest. And yeah, so there'll be 4 main panels, and by the time all of the panels have been finished, it should, including time in between to swap the panels over, that will take us till roughly 8:15 in the evening. So when the panels are finished, you will see me on camera again, and I will start to close off the stream, and I will announce the winners of the competition at that point on the stream, whether you're in store or on the stream with us. Now, that is not necessarily the end of the evening. So the first stream will finish once I've done those competition results. However, for those that are in store with us, the evening will continue. So here's all the activities that are going to be available. Now, I will prematurely say, for those that aren't in store, don't worry, there is going to be something else for you. So stand by, folks. So for those in the store with us, we have, there will be a Conjuring of Curdle Cove prototype playground, as it were. So if you want to get your hands on some prototype cards from the Conjuring of Curdle Cove, I should say, not Curse of Curdle Cove. If you want to play the prototype cards of the Conjuring of Curdle Cove, they will be available to play some games and just generally have a look at. So that'll be exciting. There is also going to be a Beat the Achroma team challenge where you'll be able to play games of Achroma versus some of the creators, not myself. And there will be prizes, I believe. I believe there's prizes for those that beat the team. I think so. There will also be a table where you'll be able to speak to the creator of the TTRPG, or the Achroma TTRPG, with Hen, where you'll be able to be introduced to the TTRPG, and I believe there might even be a chance to maybe do some character creation to kind of get you a bit of a taster into the TTRPG. There'll also be a table where you'll be able to get some of your Achroma cards and merchandise signed. I believe at that table will be the artist Matt Vince, as well as the artist Marco, and I'm sure you'll be able to get things signed by Jack, Rachel, Chris, and Dan if you guys want to as well. There will also be a table to meet the world builders, writers, and game makers. So at that table will be Rachel, Chris Hillman, and Dan Renton. And I'm sure Jack will sit down there at some point as well. So if you want to discuss with them about, just meeting the world builders, meeting the team, have discussions with them, ask any questions you want, and get things signed, then that will be available as well. In the chat, Lewis says Marco will be there too. Yes, he is planning to be. Now, for those who don't know, Marco and his partner are due their first child very soon. So very much depending on the child's timings, he may or may not. He's planning to be there. But obviously, who knows what could happen. Heron in the chat says we beat you all the time. Yeah, that is to be fair. I'm not much competition, am I? And who drew the realm runes? The realm runes were drawn by Marco. Marco did the realm runes, yeah. So if you want those signed, Marco will hopefully be there. Lewis says, I will make sure to photobomb the stream. That'd be cool. Now, for those that can't make it to the store that night, once the first stream ends, I will be starting up a secondary live stream. It will be a mobile live stream, so it will literally be me with my mobile on a selfie stick, basically. But I will be streaming for the next sort of hour or so on the YouTube channel as well, and it will be me going around the event, going to all the tables with you guys live in stream. So if you guys want to, be involved, look at what's available at the tables. If you have any further questions for the creators and just want to have a chat with them, I'll be going around all of the tables with a microphone, chatting to people as we go along, chatting to some of the community as well. So for those that can't make it to the store, as much as a shame as that is, if you want to join me on the secondary live stream, I will walk you around and make you feel as included as possible. Tora says, bro is going to be IRL streaming. Get the hot tub ready. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, can we get in a Achroma hot tub? That'd be awesome. I would definitely, I would happily sit in there and do another live stream. But yeah, so there will be the secondary live stream happening. And the last thing I want to mention about the event is that for those that are able to make it in store, there is some goodies for those that arrive. So everybody that arrives in store on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Will be able to get a Curdle Cove promo card for free. So you'll be one of the first of the community members to get the Curdle Cove promo card. 1 copy per person. You will also get a Salem Spring promo card, should you want one. I appreciate a lot of people probably have a few by now, but if you want one, there is one available for you. And, drum roll, everybody will also get a currency card. More on this when we talk about the previews in a moment. Fairy says, will there be tables to play or is it just beat the team? So, Fairy, you've been to the store before. As you're well aware, the store itself is not massive. So, to be very clear, there will be limited space to be able to just play regular games because we're going to be using a lot of the space in the tables for all of these events. But although I can't confirm because I'm not the one doing the store plan, there, quote unquote, should be space for people just to sit down and play games should they want to. Considering that there is going to be space to play with the prototype cards, there should be space for you to just sit down and play regular games of Achroma as well. Heron, is the new promo card the same as all the others? I'm actually going to be showing you guys the promo card very, very soon. So don't worry, as in like literally on this stream. So don't worry, that is coming up very soon. So that is the Achroma and Realm Runner Studios showcase happening on Tuesday 7th. I would like to know, put an X in chat if you're either coming, well, put an X in chat if you're coming to the store, put a Y in chat, as in like literally the letter Y, if you are hoping to join me on the live stream. Let's see who we got coming. But in the meantime, whilst you do that, if you have any questions for the showcase, then please do not hesitate to ask me in stream today or in Discord in the next few days. And then whilst I'm waiting to see all the X's and Y's in chat, the last bit of the events is, just to remind people, if you're not able to join us on the showcase, then next week, at the weekend, we will be at the MCM Comic Con at the XL Centre in London. Hopefully you've got, we'll see a few of you there. And after that, there will be the UK Games Expo on the 2nd to the 4th of June, where we'll be there as well. So hoping to see a lot of you there as well. Nice, good to see we've got a good amount of people come in. Taurus come over the post stream, that is awesome. And I see as well, Fairy, you said that you will actually be able to go now, which is amazing. Hopefully, look forward to seeing you there, Fairy. Welcome into the stream, Joe, so excited. And Heron says, see you at UK Games, amazing. So that is the Achroma events for this week. Would you guys like to see some previews? I imagine you would. Now, for those that are listening on the Achroma cast, or, essentially the audio only, these images that we're about to talk about will be shown in the Discord server under the Sneak Peeks channel. So join our Discord underneath the Achroma cast description and check out Sneak Peeks channel to see these images. But I will also describe them. Lewis is like, nah, don't want to see them. So first things first, here is for you folks the Conjuring at Curdle Cove promo card. Now, to be fair, if you've seen any of our other Chronicle specific promo cards, this probably isn't going to surprise you. But to keep it in light with the other promo cards, it is indeed a 4-cost location. With a steel 2 in the resolve, and the image is the same image that you see on the Conjuring at Curdle Cove poster. So no lore. I don't think there might be lore. Maybe it's just not been added yet, but it could be the fact it's a prototype. But I'll be honest, not all of our promo cards actually have lore. I think it's only actually Curdle Hill one that has lore, if I'm correct. I'm not going to start. Actually, no, I can. Let me double check my Let me check on the Siege Draco Temple. Yeah, no, the Siege Draco Temple promo card I've just put up on stream, that doesn't have any lore. I think it's actually let me double check Curdle. No, that's Road to Ludlam, Charlie. Yeah, I think it's only the Curdle Hill promo card that actually has lore. Keep in mind, if we ever do a Christmas quiz, that's a question that's probably going to pop up. Let's double check the Flutterby. Yeah, Flutterby doesn't either. So yeah, I think it's just a case of I think it's literally just the Curdle that does. But yes, it's probably the fact that it's a prototype that the text is not a stylized logo. Yeah, you are right. I think that's just been whipped up to kind of show what it will roughly look like. But yes, I imagine that the Conjuring at Curdle Cove text will actually appear as the nice kind of image rather than just plain text. But yes, that is what the promo card will look like. But to be fair, if I'd have asked you guys what you think the promo card would look like, then you probably would have guessed that. So yes, to confirm though, it is, just like the others, a 4-cost, uncommon, Steel 2 location. So that is the Curse of Curdle promo card. And like I said, if you join us at the showcase on Tuesday in person, you will get a copy. Obviously, for those that want to get copies away from the showcase, there will be opportunities to get that promo card by obviously buying the Conjuring of Curdle Cove cards. More on that in the coming weeks. It can go in Hex Clunker, so now I can have four Steel 2 locations. Yes, absolutely. As that is a Salem Planum card, when you are deck building, you could have 2 of the Salem Planum promo cards. 2 of the Curse of Curdle Hill promo cards, and 2 of the Conjuring of Curdle Cove. Albeit, you could only have 2 of those out at a time. Maximum of 2, because you wouldn't be able to have copies. So I've got one more preview for you today, folks, before we move on to the Realm table. And it is a new Realmless card. It is a new Realmless card. And this is the currency card. So I'm going to bring it up on stream and describe it for those in the Achroma cast, and then undoubtedly you guys are going to have some questions. I have a couple of answers. There may be some things that I have to kind of signpost for, hey, find out more on Tuesday. But here we go. Loose Shards is the name of this card. So it is a realmless action, subtype of resource. For those listening on the Achroma cast, it looks like a bunch of very, very pretty shards being thrown like dice. It is a uncommon action. It is the one we're currently looking at, because yes, there will be multiple, is a 1 cyan cost, and it is an immediate +2. So it's kind of like Abundance of Quintessence in a way. At the bottom of the card, it reads, scan the metacode below with the Achroma app to add 100 shards to your Achroma account. So let me give you the details that I know, and then we'll see if we have any questions. So to be very clear, this is not a limited edition card. And I can see that the Wishwell Traders, welcome in by the way, has written in the chat, begging this isn't a store exclusive. No, it is not a store exclusive. So, in the future, and very near future, we will have these cards that you'll be able to purchase as almost like a way to buy shards for the app. So it is not a brand new thing that if you go onto the Achroma app and go to the your profile, there is a way to purchase the in-game currency shards. And currently, the only thing you can really use shards for is to buy some of the other hero profiles. So if you want to play heroes with certain characters, there's a way to purchase hero avatars. And for those that have access to the early access story mode, story adventure game, you'll know that you can also use those shards to use some of your abilities. And, you know, it's nothing new. You've been able to buy these shards in the app for a long time. All we're doing is we're making this a way for you to get more for your money. So rather than just buying a digital currency, you actually buy a card, and when you scan the metacode of that card into your app, you will receive those shards. And that card is then a playable card for your games, as well as you then purchasing the shards for whatever you want to do in the app. Now, I can't give more details, but to be very clear, we are aiming to have more ways in the future to spend those shards. So it's not just going to be, you know, the 2 ways you can do it now, but moving forward, this is how, you know, you'll be able to buy the Achroma shards in your app. They will come in different values. It's not going to be just 100, so there will be different versions as well. Lewis in the chat says, I'd guess these would be given out at events. Absolutely. So, for example, those that are coming to the showcase will get given one of these cards for free as well. Now, which card it's going to be, I don't know whether it's going to be 100 shards, 1,000 shards. I don't know, if I'm completely honest with you folks. But for those that do come to the showcase, you will get given one for free. And at some point in time, I don't know exactly when, but they will be available, obviously, to buy. But yes, any other questions in chat so far? Ferrybread says I can finally get a Curdle Hill promo card, the one I'm missing. You'll be just to be very clear, Ferry, you'll be able to get the Conjuring at Curdle Cove promo card. You won't be able to get the Curse of Curdle Hill promo card, I'm afraid. But they're the same card, so it actually doesn't make a difference. If you get the Conjuring of Curdle Cove, you can play it all the same. Sarah says, Eek, can't wait. Tora said, oh, sort of like a parallel to Spring. Yes, it's a plus. Wishwell Traders thanking the Jotun right now. How much will the card be, or will it be just given out at events? So I don't know how much the card will cost, unfortunately, Fairy. I don't know that at the time. You know, we're going to find out more details about these cards on Tuesday during the showcase. But to be very clear, yes, they will sometimes be given out at events and showcases, but they will be available to buy as well. So it's not something that you won't be able to get your hands on if you're willing to part with the coin, as it were. But I guess the same with any card, really. But yes, so that is the Loose Shards. And may I say, I think it's a beautiful card. And my first reaction, I got told about this a few days ago. My first reaction to this is I think this is a really nice way of, you know, lots of games have in-game currency, and it's something that Achroma has had for a long time. I think it's nice that we can actually get something physical for our money, as well as getting those shards. So I think this is a nice addition. And I imagine that moving forward, you know, these cards aren't going to be game-changing. You know, they're not going to be like the best cards in the world. You know, as you can see, it might just be a +2. They're kind of cards similar to our other promo cards, where it's a case of, you know, they're nice, but they're not game-changing. So there we go. That is the 2 previews I've got for you today. Tora says, Clash of Clan Gems, Hog Rider card when? That'd be quite funny. Okay, so that is the end of the Achroma news, events, and previews. This is normally where the Achroma cast bit of the stream ends, so if you're listening on the Achroma cast, thank you very much for listening. Oh no, sorry, that's not. Ignore me. Where are my manners? We now have the Realm Table segment. I got stuck in the past of last week. So, Taurus like, hello. So next in the live stream, we have the Realm Table. We were always going to do the Realm Table discussion. It's that I forget at which point the Achroma cast part of the stream cuts out. So I was going to do an outro for that, but I did realize I didn't need to. So next then is the Realm Table, which is a community discussion where we talk about a particular topic, and we always have a few guests that join me. I did forget about them. We were always going to do it. So let's welcome to the stream Hen and Taurus, otherwise known as Pete. So firstly, for those that don't know, let's introduce Hen properly first. Hen, would you like to introduce yourself properly? Also love the nails.
Thank you so much. Hello, I'm Hen. I'm a junior game developer at Realm Runner Studios, and I annoy everyone in the Achroma community frequently.
I wouldn't say that. Just those at the store at Hidden Gem.
Yeah.
And you also, you own and run the other game store in Poole, one of our stockists, Hidden Gem, right?
Yes, lots of Achroma goes on at Hidden Gem. We absolutely can't get enough. So
brilliant. Well, welcome to the stream. And Taurus, would you like to introduce yourself, mate?
Hi, I'm Taurus or Pete. I do not have such qualities as being a game designer, but I am here.
You can be an honorary one for the day.
Lost Fairies expert.
Lost Fairies expert. That's pretty good.
Me. Yeah. Claim to fame right here, boys. Easy.
So, plan of action for today's Realm Table, the discussion that we're going to be having, folks. And, to be very clear, just like with any other Realm Table segment, God, my teeth are not in today. For those that are live with me in the live stream now, then please feel free to add your 2 cents to these topics. I will periodically kind of interrupt these two and read out your comments as well. So the topic we're going to discuss today is 2 parts. So the first thing we're going to have a discussion about is, considering we've now got the Rise of the Realm Runners out, we're going to be discussing, firstly, what realm, or what chronicle, I guess I should say, do we think is currently, if you had a new player approach you and say, I'm going to buy into Achroma, what realm would you point them towards first for ease of learning? And then the second discussion we're going to have is around which realm do we think is the best? If we were going to have another Achroma tournament tomorrow, which realm would you say, hey, if you don't turn up with this realm, you're probably going to struggle? Which to a degree won't be too bad because it is even. So let's start with, okay, so I'm going to come to you first, Hen. What realm do you think is chronicle do you think is easiest? If you have some coming up to you.
It's always got to be Curdle. I think it's just, especially if you're new to card games, it's just the mechanics that are simplest. It teaches you the basic words and keywords of Achroma, and it's also quite a snowbally. It's got snowbally factions, so it's got the one for each character, one for each location, lots of find, dig. It's not very, with other realms, you've got splat, shield pool, rage, things that you have to keep in mind. It can feel quite tokeny, so I think just having you don't need to remember too many things, as long as you're not running Delilah's Cauldron. I think Curdle is. Yeah, it is the go-to answer. I think the Salem Planum in general will be the go-to, even if when things get more complicated, the Salem Planum just has this steady pace foundation to it.
I completely agree with you, to be honest. And actually, Taurus, I saw you nodding your head there as well. Was that exactly your exact answer? Are we all in agreement straight away? It's going to be a short round table.
Yes. Curdle, I was going to say the exact same thing, that Salem just has all of the, well, not the easiest mechanics, but I guess the most simple mechanics, and it's stuff that it's stuff that you can engage with very, very quickly. So Hen did say about Delilah's Cauldron, I was going to mention the new Raven's Eye and Raven's Sight. They're more complicated things, but you don't have to engage with them. Things like Splat and Squish and Shield Wall and Trade Mechanics and the other decks you must engage with.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I was having a think of this myself earlier. I was trying to like directly compare the keywords and like working. Let's just work through the realms. You know, Curse of Curdle Hill. Yeah, claim is arguably one of the easiest keywords. What's yours is now mine. Thank you very much. Restrain is kind of a little bit more complicated. I don't know about you guys, but like the only question I ever get from new players about restrain is when a card is restrained, can I still get any resolve from it or anything? Which is an easy answer, no. And then that's kind of the only question you tend to get about restrain. Looking into kind of like Draco, I appreciate defend isn't alone to Draco, but it's one of the common, and that's obviously easy. But sacrifice
defending's Curdle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
Sacrifice is relatively it is easy, but it does have a few kind of like not sure's. And research, again, it's simple when you know it, but it does get a bit of confusion. Okay,
I think.
Which you think is? Oh, no, you go first. You go first.
I think Curdle or Salem playing them in general is like if you're playing like Raiden and Mortal Kombat or something, it's easy to learn, hard to master. I think that is Curdle for sure. Because if someone you can easily get on hold of it, but if someone's spent enough time with Curdle, they will know what their deck does.
And so
that can't be said for any deck, but yeah, definitely Curdle Hill has this presence that you can impose on the other players. I think it's less oppressive now that mana is not the best card in the game anymore. I still remember our game at the tournament.
Careful. The wounds have only just healed from Hen.
Shut up. It's fine.
Draw.
It's fine. I mannered into
nice.
It was in a heroes game. I mannered into Murky Mana, and then I Murky Mannered into Pyorth. And Fisto was on my canvas.
Oh, beautiful. So when you got raised, you got the shards back. That's amazing.
Yep.
Great use of heroes. So on the flip side then, whilst, I mean, it wasn't necessarily the realm table topic, but we may as well discuss it quickly. What do we think is the realm that, like, again, if you had a new player approach you and they said, hey, I want to buy, you know, obviously normally you just say, hey, buy on whichever one you think looks prettiest, because that's, you know, that's what people want. But like, if you said, hey, you're brand new to card game, sorry, I'm just going to stop there. Chill says in the chat, Murky Mana could not be allowed to stay how it was.
But fine, be scared. oppress us. It's fine.
The occultists are used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, which realm would we say is like the hardest? I'll start. I personally will advocate for Splat and Squish. Steam simple, but what do you think?
Finicky, I think. I think because people forget that it has to be another card, and they will play a trainee painter before their Cogs Village.
Yeah.
And try and add it, and
then it gets wasted. Or,
And you get to the complexities of like, you know, you have to remember which card has been splatted, because if you resolve a card and then go, oh, actually that card's going to splat that card, well, you can't. That card's already resolved. You now can't get that splat. So it's like it's kind of the opposite of not easy to learn, hard to master. Easy to learn, but it's like the more you look into it, the harder it gets. It's like the other curve. You think it's easy, but it's not.
Yeah.
It really depends on faction at this point, because I feel like I guess Sparata, because people get confused about the reduce mechanic
reducing
as well.
can be that can be.
I actually forgot about that.
That's more hard to keep track of than difficult, but actually I guess it does still cause questions.
People forget that it reduces trading.
That it's for everybody.
Players.
Yeah.
I think it's between. I think Curdle's fine, but I think I think that it's got to be between Norso and Sparata. I think Draco is in such a middle ground that it's a bit finicky, but you just got to keep it in mind. Yeah, you may sacrifice the wrong thing, but I think that's just gameplay.
Now, Taurus seems surprised by you saying Wishwell. What's your opinion on?
No. He's reading my mind.
Oh, I see.
You're going to say the exact same thing again.
You can go first next time.
No, I think Norso is. I was actually going to say Norso over Sparata.
Yeah, Norso was in my head.
It's arguable. It is arguable, definitely. But I think
Sparata was my
Norso.
second.
Yeah, fair. I think Norso has more weird mechanics. Like Splat and Squish are hard to sort of pick up and keep track of, but they're quite simple as a concept. You're just applying the resolve to another card. But things like the Lacringi Gardens, things like the Trader deck as a whole, things like Shield Wall. I took a long time to understand exactly how Shield Wall worked.
I think the common misconception for Shield Wall is that I think new players immediately think, oh, Shield Wall means I have more defense, but it's not I have more offense. And a lot of people don't realize
offense in defense.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize with Rage that like when you do the attacks, you actually take concurrent damage as well. Let's see what chat is saying about all of this then, because I have seen some good chat.
They're not agreeing with us.
No, they're not. Yeah. But I guess that's the beauty. Like, genuinely, like, although to be very clear, and I probably should say this with my Achroma hat on, although we have just had a good long discussion about how complex sometimes it is, actually, it's a very subjective, and let's be honest, it is a very well-built game that it's actually, in comparison to other card games, it's actually very simple, but it's just comparing the Chronicles, that's our opinions. But let's see. So chat.
Yeah, Charlie, but we're right, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're the ones on live stream, so we're.
Lewis said Hexclunker and Pixies are for sure the best decks right now. Oh yeah, sorry, I was talking about best decks. Fairy also said, the best mechanics are more like Claim. Lewis also said, as a Lost Fairies player, how do you feel when Lost Fairies is claimed? That's for you, Toriak, right?
Sad.
Fairy said, I just remembered I found an Achroma at Comic-Con and the people asked me which card I like the most. I picked Funguar. It's been him since the start. Nice. Sarah said, I find Flutterby easier than the others. Fair play. Lord says, has anyone considered using the badges from the Collector's Edition as action markers for new starters? I haven't considered that personally, but I will say one thing. For those that are getting the Achroma TTRPG dice or buy those in the future, there's been a lot of discussion about using those as markers. Yeah.
Yes. That's a good idea.
And Jonas, welcome in, has said, I've only played Norso, but fully agree Shield Wall is, it's confusing at first glance, but as soon as you get told, oh, it's defense, not offense, it's like, oh, it's fine.
I think it's because it's offense during defense. That's the hurdle.
Yeah.
People are like, all right, it's offense and defense, and they always assume it's like, I get more health, or like, they think it's, I think it just gets muddled, but I feel like if you're playing Shield Maidens, you can catch on to pretty quickly because you have to know what it does.
Yes. Now, Children's got a question. Oh, no, you go first, Doris, you go.
No, I was gonna say, I think even with the new cards that have come out, Salem is still the most simple deck.
Yeah,
or the most simple realm, sorry.
The easiest to learn.
To get into. Yeah, most definitely. I've got like a list of cards on my screen that sort of stood out to me, and all of them except probably like the Raven cards are still quite simple to get your hands on and play
effective
with, even though they're strong.
Yeah. Now, Chill has put a question for us, actually. And for the chat as well. Just food for thought. Would splat and squish counters of some kind be helpful to people, do you think? I know we wanted to stay away from counters in general, but could this be useful? Let's get some opinions.
Yes.
I think as an additional product.
It would... I'm not going to say it's not useful. It's definitely going to be useful.
Yeah.
It's I guess if it's worthwhile. I think people are definitely asking for it, and as the role-playing guy, I think for the role RPG, certain abilities may lead to, in the future, people being splatted and squished and stuff. And so just throwing a token at one of your players would be great. It's just awesome.
It would be nice.
Someone performed Fleabee on you?
No, I completely agree. Both in Discord games and online. Yeah, would it be useful? Absolutely. And it's one of those things that it's an optional. If you find it easier, then hey, buy this £10 pack of Achroma themed counters. I think
especially
so.
For things like Splat Square and the Guardians card as well.
And it goes for reductions.
Yeah.
Even just an official print PDF.
Yeah.
Remind me not to play the TTRPG with Hen getting counted.
There will be physical violence.
I got so many stories.
So chat has said, Sarah said yes. Lewis said I literally just ordered some markers for them. Yeah, I think Lewis did some from Etsy. Fairy Red says no because you shouldn't be playing painters. that's subjective. Heron, it could help, but I just use dice, seen as that. Yeah, dice work as well. Lewis says ability used is also useful for once per turn things. Yep. Lord Main says it'd be very useful to have them as a miniature player. Markers are very useful. Yeah. Wow, Lewis calling you out, Hen.
Shut up, just because you got yourself a raised. Okay. Just don't jump through Acron breaches, Lewis. Don't.
Yeah, that does sound like a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah.
Called out on blast on stream. Oh no.
Okay, so let's move on to the latter half, because I feel like this one's going to be the longer conversation. So to kind of summarize, I think we're all in agreement, at least in stream, mostly on the chat as well, that we believe that if you are a brand new player to Achroma, we would recommend Curse of Curdle Hill, or, well, we don't know about Conjuring of Curdle Cove yet, but Salem Plane in general seems to be at the easiest to learn for a new Achroma player. However, to be very clear, we think that all of them are still easy to learn, especially in comparison to other card games. It's just that if you had to pick one based on ease of learning, we're going to go with Curdle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, our second realm table topic today is still sort of same flavor, discussing the different realms and factions, but I want your opinions on, now that we've got the realm, including the Realm Runner expansion cards, which realm and or faction do we think is now currently nipping the lead for being the strongest? So, Taurus, I'm going to come to you first on this one. What are we thinking? Also, just before we do, Chris said, great discussion to have you, but have to head out. Catch you soon. See you later, Chris. Pleasure, mate. So, yeah, what do you think, Taurus?
Right. I have a kind of a cop-out answer for this. I'm going to be real.
Okay.
I think that I don't think there is a strongest right now. Mainly because, so there's two reasons for that. One, because nobody's figured out what the strongest is. And two, some of the strongest cards are realmless. So no matter what deck you put them in, they become strong. Main contender is Sintamani Stone, clearly, because that card is just utterly bonkers.
It is.
And it can go anywhere. I almost knocked all my cards over. And it can go anywhere, and it can be broken no matter where it goes. So...
Okay,
that it's kind of a cop-out.
No, it's a very valid argument. You're right that we don't have enough data at the moment, and you're right that a lot of the decks that are currently very strong are due to realmless cards. Hen, what do you think?
I agree with Lewis.
Hex Clunker. Don't play it. Hex Clunker. It's awful. It's oh my god. All right. Okay. Heroes Hex Clunker. This is Lewis's fault. I'm traumatized. This is.
You're traumatized. I'm traumatized from that game that's on the YouTube channel. He stole He played 8 cards.
Should we start like? Do we need to start like a support group for played against Lewis Hex Clunker?
Yes.
It's a great deck. It's a great deck.
It's the best deck that's gone up against a Heroes Hex Clunker at the moment that I've seen is my Heroes Arabella deck. Because I just found I didn't like how snuffy Isadora's ability was. And I always complain about not having enough cards, so I have Arabella as my hero, and then end up playing like 10 cards because I'm pure thing Murky Mannering, Cinemanti Stoning.
Very nice.
But I actually think Norso is probably the best tournament realm, maybe.
Yeah, because like
really,
go on, tell me why first.
Because they complement the cards quite a bit. You've got the Flora Overgrowth, you've got the Orient Fracture, you've got what I think is some of the best expansion cards with just more Shield Wall for Civ and Astrodent, more Rage. Rage, you get a lot more reward for Rage now if you put the right cards in. I've just made a Yana Norso deck. It was since I did Torstein's Baby Blues, I wanted to do haha funny play, and then it kept getting destroyed because I had no control. So I changed it, and now it's like, okay, Yana's got a Jamshin Orb, and now no one can touch me because I got a wall of Biscarvi, and it's just so, yeah, like Biscarvi falls. Like no one's expecting Yana to be resurrected by Biscarvi clan, but
but she is.
Law accurate?
But yeah, so so when I came to this question myself, I had a little bit. I did do some thinking earlier in the week. Funnily enough, I was kind of looking on the basis of like, if you were to look at each faction, like if we're going to say right, which Chronicle is the best, I was thinking which Chronicle has the best overall all 3 factions. So I'll talk you through my sort of thought process. Curdle Hill is kind of like, is one of my 2, I think is going to be the answers. The reason why is Occultists has always been strong, even before Realmless. Mage's Elite, Detective Cronus was one of the original broken cards. Like, you know, before we had loads of other options, so like the go-to meta deck was a Cronus Mage Sleep deck because it was brutal,
and Huxon
exactly. And although the Vulnerable Throws are not the best cards, but a lot of the cards that come from the Vulnerable Throw decks are strong, like, you know, Wrangled Woods and stuff like that. So yeah, Curdle Hill was potentially up there, and obviously the Claim and Restrain. You know, your deck's good, thank you. Now it's mine. Draco Temple, as much as they are my absolute favorites in terms of just they're always my favorite. Unfortunately, I can't throw them in the mix for the best realm.
You can't.
Again, they're very good. To be very clear, they've got some very strong individual factions and some very strong individual decks, but overall, I don't think they meet the others. I trust my music stops. Let me start again. Going to Wishwell, because you just mentioned that one. Wishwell, again, individually very strong. Lakringi tribes, I think the Lakringi pre-constructed palette is actually one of the strongest precons. I've been playing against Jack recently with my custom decks, and he keeps almost beating me, or is beating me with precon.
I think that's fair. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'd actually put Norso above Draco and maybe above Curves.
I was going to say my top one though still has to be Fall of Flutterby. The thing is, it's Splat and Squish.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
And the expansion cards have only made it better.
Good. Yeah.
The reducing I feel like, because there's so many different, like, Sparata has this sort of condensed snowball. That's what I like about Curdle Snowball. But it has this condensed snowball which sort of breaks into 3 pieces. And it's almost like, are you going to splat farm, squish farm, or are you going to manipulate the field and then just, rise up through the middle? It's strong.
I think there's one more thing you can do with it. I think there's one more thing you can go for on Sparata, which is what I do, which is a full Chroma deck, except you have Spiral.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
And if somebody doesn't know it's coming, you start snowballing with Chroma, and they think, okay, I can build up, and then bang, Spiral, like 8 steel.
That's literally one of my decks I've got at the moment, which is fully Chroma with Spiral, and I've got that new card that reveals a Pixie, so there's even more chance of getting him. So yeah, with that in mind, although I do think the reduction cards aren't as strong because of how, unless you're going against an Achroma deck, you're gonna be helping them out pretty much just as much as you. I think that just how much snowball potential Splat and Squish has, like if you're going against a full Splat deck, it's very hard to out Chroma them in the early game. If you're going against a fully Squish deck, it's very hard to out drain them. Simple as that.
Yeah. So at the Grand Tournament before they betrayed Murky Manor, one of the best games I ever had, I think I mentioned it on the Grand Tournament video on the YouTube, was against a Copper Joss deck, and it was just like it caught up. It didn't matter about Murky Manor because Copper Joss and the wave of Splat was gaining 20. I was taking 20, taking. Yeah. It was absolutely insane. Just because Mrs. Potts is great.
So much dig potential.
And you can dig Mrs. Potts. Like, there may be a Cultist Den, which is a steal too, but if you have Mrs. Potts with Infirmary, with
another Infirmary.
And then in a Heroes game, Castle Gates. Like, it's
ridiculous.
It bounces back. Like, ironically, the faction with Bounce does the most bouncing back. And it's truly just like... Yeah,
it is mind-blowing how quickly they can get out of control. I think after the mana nerf, fairies or Sparata in general are now the faction where you could lose in one turn effectively if they draw the right thing.
Apart from Traders.
It's just 1, 2, 3. Apart from Traders. But Traders is, I kind of put Traders in a different box. Weirdly, playing Solitaire by yourself. But I think after the mana nerf, like I said, fairies and pixies, you can just go boom, 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 I win. Or if you don't have exactly the right cards, if you don't draw exactly the right cards, I just win.
Yeah, like Lewis said in the chat, Achroma Breach with pixies.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And pure.
Yeah.
My God.
Pure for Achroma Breach, and then you just got a legion of squishing. And it's just, it's out of control.
I mean, I literally won 2 games by turn 2 today using that exact deck.
After the Murky Manor shift, Occultists are pretty good still, but it's definitely not the strongest Achroma. No, I think Pixies is like when I first learned to play. I went down to the Achroma store, and there was a Thursday small tourney. I borrowed a standard spiral and got second. And I was like, Achrom's great, Pixies are great. And so my first.
Are we getting your backstory of why, like your Achrom backstory?
Villain origin story.
So it started with a Pixies, and I got second, and I just felt so good. I was like, I'm gonna buy a Pixies collector's edition because they got me second, and I've just started. This is my first time playing.
You've actually got. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, a collector's edition. It's over there. But my work office.
I love how that's literally like a proper Achrom, considering that the whole point of Achrom is it gives you that feeling of power and you get addicted to it. You've literally had that as your origin story for why you play Achrom. I love it.
More accurate.
So the origin of the Achrom King. Yeah, so Spiral offered me some riches and power to help him out. And yeah, I took it. It just felt right. I didn't know much about the rules, and Squish is Snowball. I mean, I helped me out as a new player quite quickly, actually. But which makes me believe that Norso is more complicated now because I just remembered I started on Pixies. So I was just like, yeah, this is great.
Cards, yeah.
Again, I'm just throwing cards at people. I really have a problem.
So just to kind of summarize so far then, so I'm saying Flutterby. Have I convinced you enough to go to Flutterby now, or are you still saying Wishwell is the strongest, like with Sprata just behind Hen?
Maybe even Stevens.
Yeah,
it's matchup dependent, I think.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It really is. A good trader deck with some shield wall.
Yeah.
Brutal. You know what? A deck that I really like just completely came to me. Just talk about Shield Wall. I'd love to hear your opinion on this, Hen. I believe it was Heck Joe in the Discord, or it might have been Semper. I apologize, guys. I get confused. But came up with such a brilliant idea: a Shield Wall deck, but with Brazingamen, so that you force everybody to attack into you with your Shield Wall.
That's intriguing. Yeah, no, that's very, very interesting.
It's just funny.
I like that. But it also forces does it force your characters to attack as well?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
so it's a
only
risk.
Downside.
It's also you're playing a location deck, or they're playing a location deck,
and then you do nothing. It's worth nothing. Yeah.
So to be fair, Civ still gains, or not Civ, Astrid still gains a load.
Yeah.
So
Civ would gain loads from the shield wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, and true. I feel like. Now, this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but
we'll come to the chat in a second.
I prefer, apart from Torstein, like the non-Jotun legendaries always intrigued me more than the Jotun legendaries. I know Giselle is very beloved in this cafe here, but I know almost like Astrid feels a bit more Cronusy to me and stuff.
I always go Astrid over Giesel as well.
Yeah, and like Solvig's just Giselle, but naughty.
The buffs they got recently were nice. But...
Can we talk about how? I am going to get my own personal card to show this because this is hilarious.
Naughty Solvig, yes.
Yeah. You know exactly. No one else commented so far that for those watching the Achroma cast, then you're going to have to. For those listening on the Achroma cast, you're going to have to go to the YouTube for this. But the alt art Solveig, none of us noticed until the card got printed that.
No, that's not true. That's.
Oh, did you notice before? Did you notice before and just said nothing? That it kind of looks like he's. It kind of looks like that the Achroma shards are preventing something.
I looked over a shoulder. I was looking at his computer, and I looked and went, "Is that fan art?" And they went, "No, it's alt art." And I went,
"Oh." So let's come to the chat. I want to read some of these comments. So let's see what the comments were saying about. I was
going to say chat's made some very good points.
Yeah, so let's go through these. So I'll go from where Chris headed out. So Fairybread, this was talking about going back to we've gone so off topic. Which realm, which is great. I love these conversations. So which realm do we think is the currently the strongest? So Fairybread actually says Drake's. The sacrifice has been buffed. So I do agree that sacrifice is now so much more fun, but I don't think it's as. I think all that's done is bring it on par with your averagely good decks. I don't think it's like gone into the Hall of Fame. This is amazing. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, it's how it sort of the energy synergy.
It's synergized
with it,
better.
I think.
Yeah. Although
So it also has to synergize with the other Drake cards, though.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I want to specifically mention Bathed in Achroma is really, really good.
If you can get out right.
If you can get it right, clearly. But I think like you said, it's just brought the mechanic like up to the level of the other cards rather than making it insane.
Yeah. Heron.
Oh my god.
Have you seen a comment?
Yeah, I did.
We'll get there. Heron said, "Don't say traders." We discussed them a little bit. Lewis said, "Stone is the best card ever printed." Yeah, as in Sintamani Stone. Lewis said, "Hen has been enjoyed playing against my decks." What else we got here? Lewis also said, "Traders not being very interactable does make it good." So, yeah, you know, it's a nice different way of playing.
It's a keep away deck. It's like if you touch me, I don't care. I can still just do my thing.
Lewis also agreed that Akron Breach's pick's very strong, a lot of agreements. Sarah agrees that Copper Joss is just amazing. Lord said, "You say solitaire. I say I use all of the cards for traders." Ferry said, "I think I won one go using my occultist once. I was on the Chroma side, but then he shook my hand and I embraced Acrom." You converted Ferry to Acrom, didn't you? That was in Hidden Gem. Is that a secret like Acrom converter in Hidden Gem?
No, we got lots of Chroma players here, but they're too nice to preach to the masses.
And what else we got here? With the old art, who agrees Hen looks like the occultist warlock? Is that what you were reacting to?
I've had multiple people say this to me, and they haven't convened at all.
I do agree, if I'm honest. It's a good. It's a compliment.
I know. I'm like I'm an occultist, right? But like I'm not just a warlock. Come on.
No, think of it this way: the warlock is trying to look like you. His elder.
Inspired by,
exactly.
True.
I think you should get the alt art trim, Hen.
Yeah, I can agree. I am not in Curdle Cove, sadly. I'll divert that information now.
So I think that's most of the chat comments that were specifically about that the conversation. Was there any, Taurus? Was there one you wanted to speak about specifically?
Well, somebody said something about the potential for doing loads of damage on like turn 1 or 2 with pixies, I think.
Yeah. Lewis said
it's crazy. Like before,
you can do 10 straight up.
You can do 10. It's the most I think now.
The max
because before it was occultist, but now it's
the max I could do with occultist before Murky Mana got ruined was 8.
Yeah, 8.
And I did that in the grand tournament against Mike. I hope you're watching. And it was
me.
It was Pefarius, Murky, Isadora, and that only got 8. But the fact that pixies can get,
I mean, think of it this way. Let's say your first turn. I mean, I don't know I'm not going to try and say let's sit here and work out the maximum, but just as a general example, let's say first turn as pixies, you play 3 2-cost cards with squish. So let's say you play 2 ravaged elites, and let's say you play, I don't know, the overalls on top. Now, I appreciate you wouldn't get any of that resolve back on the first turn, but then let's say to make up for the shards, you end your turn by trading something like Advanced Scouting Party to get 5 shards back. So you're now on 9 shards with those 3 cards out. Second turn, with those 9 shards, you start by spending 5. You start by trading just any card, let's say 1 shard. You play Akron Breach for 5, and you play Pure for 4. You've now already got, let's count that up, 5... including the card that comes out of that Akron Breach, you then have another 6, that'd be 11. You then have 17. Ravager Pure Breach is that, and
it's 11.
It's 11, and I mean you could
it's
also
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid. There's no way that an opponent with Chroma on turn 2, apart from maybe traders, could have that much by then. Realistically, it's
unless you make unless you have like a god hand. I have ended up on like 15 or 16 before on turn 1 with like an insane starting hand and first draw. But
in fairness, that's also an insane start for that deck, that you'd have to have Pure Breach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the old combo was Spiral Ravager to get however much it is, which is like 9, I think, 8 or 9. But now with Pure and Breach, my god, ugh.
It's with Chroma though, you're better off sometimes you're worse off getting a great hand with Achroma, because if you do it too early, especially against an Achroma deck, you're not going to get it again.
Yeah. It's up.
You're not.
You want to get cards down to get the game, but you're constantly thinking, like the best case scenario for a Achroma player is that you go second. You just or you want to be the last player, I should say, especially if it's a multiplayer game.
This is why Curdle Hill is so
two full pallets.
Yeah, what on earth?
Yeah.
This
Absolutely.
is why Curdle Hill is so good, because at any point in the game, especially with Sintamani Stone now, they can just say mine.
Yep.
And that's your best card, just gone. Or not just mine, not necessarily mine, but gone in some way. Because between like Mystical Malfunction or whatever it's called, because I used to never see the card, so I don't know the name of it. 2 Fireballs, Silent Thicket. It's all not yours anymore.
So, rounding up the conversation then, because I think it's been roughly about 30 minutes now. So, I think what you can actually take away, for those listening on the Achroma cast and those watching live stream, what you can actually take away from this is actually, which is the best realm? There's actually, if you pick the right deck, any realm can be bloomin' strong.
Apart from Draco, I'm joking.
No, well, Draco, I think with Draco, if you want to talk about, if you wanted to talk about, see, I know, I'm offended. No, if you wanted to, because I'm a Draco fan, if you want to talk about...
it was just funny.
Specific decks in Draco, I mean, I'm looking at like proper research Varsal Ataris decks. I remember being beaten when we did the Achroma tournament, the Achroma League, where someone won a game against me where all they did was just, my turn, draw. My turn, draw. Is it my turn? Draw. I obviously, if you were playing Achroma, I appreciate that would beat it, but I was playing Achroma, and by the time it took me to set up and get even close to 30, it was like, oh, yep, Varsal Ataris.
I win. Yeah. Silly and funny.
Yeah, Varsal Ataris decks for Draco, and Dragon decks can be strong, they just require setup, and the Sacrifice decks I can see being strong, just not like they are very strong, but just not the strongest. But anyway,
I know I'm really biased.
You've got to rely on how other people play.
I know I'm really biased, but I think like a Denizens hybrid deck at the moment is strongest with Draco, just because you have a little bit of everything. It's kind of a generalist deck. You don't really get messed up by one thing. So
true. And we're gonna say him.
I was gonna say that a good Draco player is sometimes subjected to what someone else is doing.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in chat we've had, if you have Purth in your hand and you can go Ravager Factory Line into Stone, play Purth into Breach for 16. There we go. That's crazy.
If you ever do that to me, I'm leaving the call. Genuinely, I'm leaving the call right there. Like, disconnect. Gone.
And Heron says you can clip Copper Joss Wings. Yeah, I'll be honest. What I have liked about the new cards is that a lot of the decks that were like unbeatable have now got counters. But yeah, so in summary then, folks, I think we can all agree that every realm is strong to a degree, but I think we're kind of saying that we've got. Would you guys agree with me as a closing statement that we'd probably say that Sparata is probably just pipped to the best, Wishwell and Curdle are really close behind it, and Draco Temple isn't far behind, but is probably behind that if we were to like put it in a list.
I think my closing statement is that plus just put Sintamani Stone in every deck, man. It's so good. Unless you're me trying to be anti-meta and not doing it with anything because I'm cool and hipster, definitely. Just put that card in every deck. It's
That's
so
fair.
Good.
Or because you don't have enough Sintamani Stones.
Yeah, no, that's the same for me. And what about yourself, Henry? What do you agree with that last statement? Oh, sorry, what would you say about that last statement?
Yeah, I think I feel like Sparata may only take the cake just because, and also I think it's just as powerful, but it takes a little bit more time to set up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always been Norso's weakness.
And Sparata, compared to Wishwell, Sparata has more consistency and second chances with the amount of dig cards they've got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially Pixie Prison if you're doing Sparata versus Sparata.
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I bought an Occultist deck, because Ree kept Pixie Prisoning me. And that, as soon as I started playing Isadora, Pixie Prison's not in the deck anymore. What's the price?
No way.
Oh,
look at that, crazy.
Yeah, so Lewis said, I need a new pack of cards that's just 10 Sintamani Stone, so I have enough. I'll pay £5 for each of them.
Bad.
Brilliant.
Bad. Hate. Agony.
Right. Well, Taurus, Henry, it has been a genuine pleasure having you guys on the stream today. It's been some great conversations. For those that are live in the chat, please make sure you put lots of thank yous in for you guys. But I'm sure we'll have you guys back on stream at some point in the future. But
of course.
In the meantime, well, the next time we're probably going to have you on stream, Henry, is hopefully we'll have some more TTRPG content soon. You and me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Look at him.
Thank you very much, guys.
Very much. Yeah.
I will see you very soon.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Oh yeah, we got a last bye from Hen there. There we go. So yeah, if you could join me with thanking them in chat, I would be really appreciative because yeah, that was a really fun Achroma cast. Great conversation there, and some really interesting stuff. You know, whether you're new to Achroma or whether you've been playing it for a long time, some really interesting discussion there. So it is not the end of the stream for those that are here on YouTube. For those that are on the Achroma cast, this is what I was going to do earlier. For those that are on the Achroma cast, thank you very much for listening. But for those on the live stream, let's now move to the community showcase where we like to shine the light onto you guys. Hey, welcome in, Jack. Great chat. Love hearing everyone's thoughts. Awesome. Well, Jack, before you go, if you're going to go, what would you say? What would you say is the strongest realm at the moment? Good job, guys. I was entertaining. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Fairy. Is that enough? I'll do some more. No, thank you, Fairy. That's brilliant. Jonas, thanks. Great listening in. Learned a lot about the other realms. Lovely. And Taurus, really good guest this evening. Oh yeah, I wonder who that was, Taurus. Yeah. So yeah, let's do some Achroma community showcase. So for those that have not been in the stream before, what this is we shine the light on you guys in the community at some of the amazing things that you guys have produced throughout the week. Firstly, I'd like to say that we're up to now 455 members in our Discord, which is a gain of 7. So if you're one of those 7 people that has joined this week, welcome in. Pleasure to have you. If you are not yet in our community Discord, it is where the most amount of conversation happens across all our social medias. So check out the link down below and come and join us. Now, to start with, I want to talk about the Wishwell Traders, who I believe is in stream today. If you're still there, hello. So Wishwell Traders is another YouTube channel. It is a community content. It's not it's not something that Achroma make. And on their channel, they have made loads of really cool videos, doing deep dives into the lore and opinions on the cards, and talk about new expansions and stuff like that. And this week specifically, they have produced 2 new videos. The first one is a video covering the legendaries and rares of the Realm Runner expansion. Now, they're not talking about the abilities, but what I really like about this video is they covered the lore. Now, not a lot of people realize this, but a lot of the Realm relics that we've put into the game are not completely brand new, as in like they weren't the thought process of Achroma. We obviously designed the card and gave it extra lore, but what the Wishwell Traders has done is they've been really clever. They've gone and done some of their own research, and in this video they talk about these realm relics are actually mythical items from genuine stories in real life. Some of them I believe are actually real items, and the Wishwell Traders done a great job of doing the research and actually giving you that information in that video. So I'd really recommend you go and watch that one because it's got some really insightful information. And as usual with the Wishwell Traders videos, if you've not watched them, he's really witty, really funny. It's really captivating. Definitely go watch it. The link is down below to their channel. You won't not enjoy it. That is my promise. And actually, he has also released a second video this week, which is looking at the a faction dive into Curse of Curdle Hill, specifically the faction Occultists, where he covers all the Occultist cards and again a bit of the lore, a bit of the gameplay. Again, same compliments. Really easy listening, good information. Even if you think you know everything about the game, you'll probably learn something. Go give it a watch. Even the co-creators of Achroma have watched them and said, "Wow, it was like being taught the game that I thought of years ago." So yeah, go give it a watch. Very good. What else have we got in the chat? Lewis says, yeah, make him play against Hexclunker on stream. Ooh, that'd be fun. Jack says, been too busy packing cards to play lately. I think Trader's going to be the long stay tournament palette that players will hate, but I agree the Pixies are currently Speed King. Yeah, Speed King, Pixies, and yeah, Traders is tough. If you know you're playing against Traders, you can counter them, I reckon, quite easily, but yeah, they are tough. Thank you, Jack. So yes, that is the Wishwell Traders. So speaking of traders, definitely go check out their YouTube channel. It is linked down below, and it's also one of the featured channels on our YouTube channel at the bottom. The next bit of community showcase I want to show off is, in a completely shift of pace, some nails. So that the lovely hand that is pictured here, I do have permission to show this, is Sarah Jane. In preparation for the Achroma showcase and Realm Runner Studio showcase on Tuesday, where Sarah will be attending, she has gone out and got her nails painted and designed. And as you can see here, it kind of speaks for itself. She's got the Achroma symbol on her thumb, and then on each nail, she's got the symbol for each of the realms and the leading color for that realm. I think this is amazing. I love it. It is beautifully done, so credit to your artist. And it's lovely to see. So thank you very much for sharing this with us, Sarah. I can't wait to see them in person on Tuesday. And we love this sort of creativity. So if you guys ever do this at home, or if you do anything that is creative and Achroma based, please post it in the fan content channel of our Discord, or DM it to me if you'd rather it not be shared in Discord first. You know, we love showing these things off on stream. Fairybread says, traders is just trade too much. Where are the Achroma nails? Sarah said, can't have Achroma, it's not allowed. I did suggest having the other hand completely Achroma, but I think the other hand is mirrored. Now, we did have one very late last-minute entry to the fan content this week, and it is another entry to Pim the Imp. Now, before I bring us on screen, I want to mention that for those that have not met Pim the Imp, this is a Achroma TTRPG character created by Kaz, partner of Lewis, who they've been playing a alpha game with Hen at Hidden Gem, and their character they made was called Pim the Imp, with a lovely little hat for a realm relic. And over the last few weeks on these streams, we've been detailing some amazing art that Kaz has drawn of Pim the Imp. And this week, it's been upgraded, folks. We have a GIF. Is it gonna work on stream? It is gonna work on stream. Look at this awesome little GIF of Pim the Imp. I hope there is some lore behind this as to actually Pim doing this in the TTRPG. But I think the detail that I like in this is the newspaper. It's actually the Curdle Chronicle with the image of it's actually the recent Curdle Chronicle with the Conjuring of Curdle Cove information in it, and obviously on the back, Fungwa with the lovely top hat is wanted. Brilliant work. I love this so much. Kaz, you are amazing for making this. Love it. If you guys want to see more Pim the Imp content, check out the fan content forum where Pim has a dedicated forum post for all these pictures. But I love this, Kaz. Thank you so much for taking the time to give this week. For those that don't know, Pim the Imp is detailed on a character in Fall of Flutterby, the Imp. There you go, who's on screen now. But this is Pim the Imp. Fairbrad says, I don't have the TTRPG, but in case I do play it, I should create a character. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to make a character at some point, that'd be amazing. And again, you know, it might be quite busy, but I believe that Hen will be doing some form of character creation at the store on Tuesday, so you can definitely do that with Hen. And I know you go to Hidden Gem quite a lot, so definitely make a character. Why not? It's a bit of fun. That's what I was... Oh, yeah, what did Fungwa do? What didn't he do? What didn't he do? But no, thank you very much, Kaz. Amazing artwork there. And then the last bit of the community is we always like to show off some palettes that have been created. Again, for those who don't know, in the Discord, under the Canvas forum, people can post palettes that they have built, custom palettes that is, to share and get some feedback. Now, I'm actually going to share a couple of my own palettes this week, so feel free to be as brutal as you want in the chat, folks. I have shared these to the Discord as well. So a bit of backstory about these palettes is before the Rise of the Realm Runners came out, and before I actually joined the Achroma team, I actually hosted my own YouTube channel and did Achroma videos. One of the videos I made was a Astrid deck called Astrid's Objective for Power, which was a Lakringi Holder Troll palette that was full of Holder Trolls and powerful objects and cards that synergize with playing objects. And what I've done is I've actually upgraded that deck now that we've got the expansion cards, and I just wanted to show you guys this deck. I personally have played this deck about 10 times or so now, and it's won most of the games I've played with it, so it is very strong. And even in the games that I've lost, I've always been a strong contender for winning. You know, someone's just pipped me to the post sort of thing. So it does have some shield wall in. So to detail some of the cards in this deck, so obviously Astrid is the important one. You know, she gets so much benefit from Holder Trolls and the Shield Wall. Civ is an obvious choice. I mean, basically, the whole point is this has loads of Holder Trolls. So it has pretty much all the Holder Trolls available with Shield Maidens, Magnus for digging, Eric for finding and digging for objects. Now, I've put some really powerful objects in this. We've got Gisel's Sash, which gives protection to the Sash and gives you a gain in the resolve step for every character on your Lakringi character on your canvas, so that synergizes very well. We've got Club of Dagda and Darwin, which are two realm relics. Now, you can't have it on the same character, but Club of Dagda, amazing, unlimited attacks, +1 for every time you do so, can't be erased. And Darwin for attacking locations, just brilliant objects. Now, what I like about this is those are very expensive objects to play, but you've got cards like Imbued in the Forges that allow you to deploy an object for free and then immediately +2 for each card on your, so each object on your canvas. So the whole point of this deck is these expensive objects, you play your characters, you put some cheap objects on them, like the Shield of Lakringi, the Aurium Diamond, the catapult. Then you play Imbued in the Forges to attach to your Darnwyn, Club of Dagda, or Gizil Sash for free, and then you gain +2 for every card for every object on your canvas. It's really strong. Excuse me one moment. Tickly throat. So yeah, I personally really like this deck, obviously because I made it. It has brilliant synergy, lots of objects. You've got some good control in Lakringi Way. Reforge is an amazing card, being able to reveal an object and replace an object on any canvas with that object for free. Again, great. I could have I could put Shield of Lakringi on a character, play Reforge, reveal Darnwyn, and then replace the Shield of Lakringi with Darwin for free. And the locations, there's only a couple of them are there for gain. Yes, you know what? I should mention actually. It was actually on my to-do list, but I should mention that if you want to make a deck image like this to be able to share, then I really recommend you go to the website Achroma.tools, which is a fan-made website made by Lewis Davis in the stream right now. It's a really, really intuitive and simple mechanic where you can search for cards, click them, generate an image, and it generates this lovely image with all your cards. It's really useful. Go to achroma.tools to do that. It's been made out of the goodness of Lewis's heart, and it's genuinely amazing, so do it. But Lewis says, I really like the deck idea. We'll have to give it a go. Yeah, it's very strong. It's the one I played in the 4-player games against you guys. In fact, if you actually want to see this deck in play, I mean, this is a good segue, isn't it? If you want to see this deck being played, go check out the recent Achroma Community Games video on our YouTube channel, because even though I don't win, spoiler alert, I didn't win that game, I did very well with this deck. So yes, that is that one. And the other one I want to show you, it's actually the same sort of storyline that like I said, on my old YouTube channel, like I said, I made deck building videos. So one of those other deck building videos I made previously was one called Conjurer Otrix. It was called Controller Otrix, and it was a Otrix control deck. Control being a word I use to define cards that can erase other cards. So what I've done is I've done the same thing. I've taken my original Controller Otrix deck and I've upgraded it. So this is very much a multiplayer deck. It's not going to be very good in 1v. Well, it could be good in 1v1s, but it's meant for multiplayer. And it's designed, it's not got that very much gain. It's not got very much steal or drain. It's not going to win you the game very quickly. It's a very slow deck. But what it does contain is, out of 30 cards, 17 of them are control cards. So you've got 17 out of 30 cards that can do damage and actually like erase other people's cards. It is yeah, it's incredibly strong. If you're playing a 3, 4, 5, 6 player game with this deck alone, you can control the board and stop people from having their best cards. So Heron also says, what happened to the HOD video? That one unfortunately had a few editing issues on my end, and unfortunately it couldn't go live. It was basically unfixable. I still have the recording if you want to watch it, but it's not going on YouTube, I'm afraid, Heron. And we'll have to play another one of those HOD games. So yeah, in terms of the choice I've got here, Otrix is obvious, Claim. Sintermani Stone, obvious. Acrom Corruptor, obviously great choice there. And Occultist Den to be able to dig for Otrix. Now this one is a bit of an outlier. A few people have already commented they probably would swap this one out, but I want to see how it goes. So I've put Brazingamen in there, which means characters cannot attack the attached character. All other characters must attack when able to during their turn. So one thing you'll notice is I've only got 5 characters in this palette: 2 Jarvises, 2 Clunkers, 2 Clunk Engineers, and Otrix. Essentially, this is a location and action heavy build. The only characters I have here are there for a purpose. Jarvis is there to claim an object, Engineer is there to dig for an object. Once they've done their jobs, I don't actually mind if they get erased. So the idea is with Brazingamen is if I'm in a 5-player game, I've got some of my locations out, but none of my characters. And let's say my 4 opponents have loads of characters. I would play just one character like Hexclunker Engineer or Jarvis, and I would put Brazingamen on that character and force my opponents to now do loads of attacks. Effectively, it's an amazing control card by forcing your opponents to attack. I might swap it out for something else in the future, but it's cool. So yeah. Hexclunker Engineer is just purely there to dig for objects. Jarvis is there to steal objects. Corrupted Muon Trap, great claim cards. The locations in this deck, this is where you will get your gain and drain. So you got Wrangled Wood, Road to Ludden, Curdle Mine, Text Clunker Parts. A Curdle Glade is in there. I always like to have one card with Prevent. It's always useful. And then my actions is where this deck comes alive. So you got Achroma Surge, which I appreciate. There is lots of locations in this palette, but the Achroma Surge is in there as insurance. If I need to clear the board of locations and I've not got very many good locations out, I'll Achroma Surge. Block Out the Sun is great board clear. Mystical Malfunction is great for raising objects. Lost in the Woods is brilliant to restrain multiple characters. Drain the Woods, again, a bit of a insurance, but, you could actually use that to win the game or board clear. Fireballs, obviously. Hostile Takeovers, obviously. And then a Curse of Curdle Hill in the end there to get some extra drain. So, yeah, I could be convinced to swap some of these cards out, but initially, it's a really fun control deck. If you want to go into a multiplayer game, not necessarily with the idea of I'm definitely going to win, but you want to go in and cause chaos, then this is a really good deck to play. Lewis says, I think I would switch the drain for a Muon Trap. Yeah, I could definitely be convinced to do that. But yeah, definitely worth giving it a go. And fair enough, we'll definitely have to. Yes, please do, Heron. I want to play against your HOD again. So there we go. So that is the community showcase of this part of the stream. And that is, at roughly an hour and a half, that is a great time to look to end the stream. So we've covered a lot of stuff today. We've had loads of news. Obviously, the big talk is the fact that we've got the Realm Runner and Achroma showcase on Tuesday. Hope to see you guys there. And we had a couple of previews today, which those will be in Discord after the stream. So that is the promo card and the currency card. We had a fantastic Roundtable community discussion with Hen and Tora, so thank you very much for that, folks. If you want to listen back to that, you can re-listen to the stream or listen to the Achroma cast, which will go live tomorrow. And a great community showcase, as always, seeing what you guys are up to in the community. But yeah, thank you very, very much for you guys being in stream today. It would never be a good stream without you guys talking with me in the stream, because it makes it so much more fun for me to have you guys engaging in the chat. So thank you to every single one of you that has been watching and talking in the chat with me. And yeah, what's going to happen next, folks, is I'm going to jump into table 1 of the Discord, and we're going to debrief today's news and play some Achroma games. So if you fancy coming in and playing some games, or coming in and just watching the games and chatting, then please join me in table 1 in a moment. But otherwise, I have been Charles Barton, the Achroma community coordinator, otherwise known as Viridian. I will see you in next week's weekly stream, and I'll also see you in the Achroma showcase stream on Tuesday. Don't forget to be there. See you guys. Have a good week. Bye.